Welcome to the 14-day fat burning plan. I'm so happy that you are here. For some of you, this is nothing new. You've done the 14-day program and perhaps you're in it for the new recipes. For others, you're just embarking on this journey. And let me tell you something, we have two different plans that you can choose from. You have a high protein plan and you have a carb cycling plan. Both of them are highly effective. Both of them will work. I guarantee you will get results if you follow the plan explicitly. Now, if you only sort of follow the plan, you'll only sort of get the results. So the results that you want are dependent on your effort level that you put into the plan. So I'm going to go over the rules of engagement. First of all, you want to print out this plan. This is going to be your Bible for the next 14 days. You're going to print it out, read it over, mark down any questions that you have, and then comment below, send me a message, or get with the person or coach who invited you into this group and discuss any questions that you have with them. And I guarantee we'll get it all hammered out. So I'm going to walk you through the plan, okay? So starting with page 1, getting started, make sure you have it printed out, and then make sure you have your products. So there are a couple of different products that are required for this, and the first one is going to be the Power Couple, and that is slim and lean, known as the Power Couple. You're going to take this twice a day. The other product that we are recommending that you use on this plan is an ID Life shake. Now there's chocolate whey, vanilla whey, and there is vegan. All of them are absolutely fine to use on this plan. So you want to make sure that you have the products available and ready to go when you decide your start date. Okay, you want to know what plan you're following. Remember, I said there are two plans in here. One is carb cycling and the other is high protein. Get with your coach, decide which is the best plan for you to start with, and then make sure you're familiar with that plan. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to weigh yourself. And we have included in here, it's in the back of the guide, this is a measurement sheet. So you're going to want to print this out, and you're going to want to take your measurements starting from your neck, your bust, your arms, your waist, etc. And you also want to weigh in. This is really, really important. You want to not only weigh in, but you have to take your measurements, because you guys, muscle and fat, they have two totally different compositions, right? So a lot of people, you'll hear them say, well, it's because muscle weighs more than fat. A pound weighs a pound. But fat is distributed differently in your body. And the idea of this fat burning plan is we want to rid your body of fat. We want to retain the muscle. So you want to make sure that you get the measurements, because a lot of times the scale doesn't really necessarily indicate the success that you're having on the program. So it's ultra crucial that you get your measurements. Okay? Take your measurements, take your photos. We want to see photos before and after, because a lot of times you don't even recognize the changes that you're making. And a picture is worth 1,000 words. So we really want you to make sure that you take pictures from the front and the side. Some keynotes here. What you'll notice in the plan, there's absolutely no wheat. We only allow you 2 types of carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates on this plan. Either one, whether it's carb cycling or high protein, and the carb choices that we are giving you, it's going to be a whole wheat or brown rice, and the other one is going to be quinoa. Those are the only 2 complex carbs. We are allowing Ezekiel bread or whole wheat bread. You can get Dave's Killer bread, and that is to be used for breakfast on the egg bake. Other than that, that's it. No artificial sweeteners, no white sugar, no alcohol. 14 days, give it up. You will live, I promise you. Only 1 cup of coffee, and you want to sweeten it with almond milk or coconut milk. You don't want to use any artificial sweeteners or creamers in this. So if you like coffee and you can't live without it, then you're going to drink it black or just use almond milk unsweetened. If you don't like that, you can have 1 cup of green tea. Another thing that we all drink on the program is energy. So that also gives us the caffeine that we need to get us through the day, but it's not going to have any of the artificial sweeteners in it, and it's sustained energy. No dairy except for Greek yogurt, and then some of the recipes do have a little bit of cheese in it, but other than that, there's no dairy. You're going to space the meals out every 2.5 to 3 hours. You want to avoid waiting longer than 4 hours. Okay, you know, sometimes life happens and gets in the way, so if that 4-hour window happens, just deal with it, move on. But do not skip meals, and do not delay your meals. You want to continually stoke that wood fire, right? I call this a fat burner. You want to continually stoke that fire by fueling your body every 2.5 to 3 hours. You want to drink half your body weight in ounces of water, and if you're working out, you're going to add 20% more onto that. And there are no fruit or complex carbs past lunchtime, whatever that lunchtime is. For some people it might be 12 noon, for some it might be 2, but whenever lunchtime hits, after that there's no fruit and no carbs. And the only exception to that is if you're doing the carb cycling plan, and then you'll follow that plan explicitly. Workouts, we are asking you to work out or to move, whatever your workout is. I don't care what you do, but just move 30 minutes a day. And your goal would be to try to get about a 300 calorie burn. So if you have some type of tracking device to track how many calories you are burning, we highly suggest that you do that, because this is only a 14-day plan, you guys, and we want you to kick up that and jumpstart that metabolism, right? And the best way to do that is, one, through our food that we're doing here, but then also to work out and get that metabolism going. Some other recommended vitamins that we would suggest: a probiotic, a multivitamin, and an omega. So if you're currently doing that, great, continue doing that. If you're on your ID Nutrition, you probably have those vitamins in your own personalized vitamin pill pack. And if you don't, but you want to know where you can get some of these, the probiotic, the multivitamin, and the omega, there's something known as an essential pack. And you can reach out to your coaches and we can help you get that. Special interest on either of the plans, you can choose any of the foods and eat as much as you want from the low glycemic food list. So those are going to be all of your considered free carbs. Fill up on those, you guys, because those are limitless. All right, so I'm going to talk to you now about 14-day. So this is going to be the high protein plan, and I'm going to go over it relatively quickly. Breakfast, you have 3 different breakfast options that you can choose from. So look at the menu, look at the different breakfast recipes, and pick whichever one you want. Now you can choose to alternate the different recipes, or you can use the same recipe for every single day. It doesn't matter, but you're going to choose one of the breakfast recipe options. Now, if you don't want to use any of the recipes in here and you're going to go it alone, then you have to follow the rules, which are a protein, a carb, and a fruit. And again, the carbs here are going to be the low glycemic veggie carbs, right? So you can choose to maybe add some spinach or veggies or something in with your eggs, but it's a protein, it's a carb, and it's a fruit. Then about 2.5 to 3 hours after that, you're going to have a snack, and your snack is going to be a 1/4 cup of nuts. We suggest walnuts or almonds. And in addition to those nuts, you get to have half of a grapefruit or a green apple. Not a red apple, but a green apple. We're really, really specific on that. And if you read the plans, we tell you why. We're picking out the best foods for you that are going to give you the best results. Because remember, this is only 14 days, right? So we want to do whatever we can to get this going for you. In addition to that snack, you're going to have Slim and Lean. And this is what I do. Put my Slim in a shaker bottle, shake it up, and chug it down. And let me tell you something about Slim. It is not a cocktail. It's not to be meant to be sipped poolside and as a cocktail. No, get it in your hat, right, so that it can start to go to work for you. This just has some great prebiotics in here, and it also has some things that are going to help suppress the appetite, right? So you want to make sure you get it in. In addition to that, you're going to take your Lean, and your Lean is either in a powder form or you chose to get it in the pill form. Whichever one, you're going to do the Slim and Lean at your first snack. 2 or 3 hours after that, you're going to have lunch. You're going to choose from the lunch recipe options. So whatever it says for lunch, pick any of the recipes and have that for lunch. Again, if you don't want to follow the recipes, then you have to follow the guidelines, and that is a protein. But now you can add a carb, and it's either going to be brown rice or quinoa, half a cup, no more than that. And you're going to have veggies along with it. Okay, so you're going to follow the recipes, or you're going to choose those macros. 2.5 to 3 hours after that, you're going to have your second snack, and that is going to be a yogurt pudding. So the recipe's here: 3/4 cup non-fat Greek yogurt, tablespoon of chia seeds, honey, vanilla, and cinnamon. You're going to mix that all up. If you let it sit for a little bit, the chia seeds will actually plump up a little bit, and that's going to give you your sense of fullness, right? So that's going to be your afternoon snack. Then you're going to have your Slim and your Lean again. So this is your second time of the day. And then about 2.5 to 3 hours after that, you're going to have your dinner. You're going to choose from the dinner options, or again, you can choose your own, but it has to be a protein and a veggie and a veggie. Now remember, once you hit lunchtime, whatever that lunchtime is, there's absolutely no fruit and no carbs past lunch. Okay, so for dinner, it's a protein and a veggie and a veggie. Again, if you're hungry, eat as many of the vegetables from the low glycemic list as you want. You can use the same recipe throughout the whole 14-day plan, right? The same breakfast, the same lunch, the same dinner, whatever. Or you can experiment and play around with the different recipes. So here's something. If you are a person that works out in the afternoon, after work, you may want to swap your morning and afternoon snacks because carbohydrates and fats are energy. So if you need that extra energy in the afternoons because you're gearing up for a workout, then you might want to have that apple, right, the carb, and the nuts so that you have that energy to power you through that workout. If you're not working out in the evening and you work out in the morning, then keep the snacks in the order as they appear. And again, the only complex carb is brown rice or quinoa, and that is a half a cup. With the exception, you can have a piece of Ezekiel bread or whole grain bread with the egg bake at breakfast. Okay, that is the 14-day plan. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you get with your coach or comment below. And we're going to move on to the next plan, the next option, and this one's a game changer. It is, you get tremendous results on this one as well, but it is much stricter. Okay, so this is the 14-day carb cycling plan. This plan would be suggested for anybody that maybe has done the 14-day in the past and maybe they hit a plateau or maybe they're sick of it, or maybe you are not able to work out, life is getting in the way, and you really, really need to get really strict and really serious. So carb cycling would be the way to go. So here it goes. Following along from the plan, on days 1 and 2, there's absolutely no carbohydrates whatsoever. No carbs. So that means no fruits, no carbs, nothing. Veggies, different, but you cannot have carbs, you cannot have fruit. So for breakfast every single day, right? But for breakfast on days 1 and 2, you are going to have a protein shake. So you can follow the recipe that's included in the plan, but you must omit the pumpkin because pumpkin is a carb. So you're going to omit that, okay, on days 1 and 2 from the shake recipe. About 2.5 to 3 hours after that, you're going to have your snack, which is a 1/4 cup of nuts. Again, there's no fruit, so you cannot have that green apple. You can't have that grapefruit. It's only the nuts. You're also going to have your slim and lean. 2.5 to 3 hours after that, you're going to choose from the dinner recipe options in the plan. Now remember, dinner recipes don't include a carb. So on days 1 and 2 of the carb cycling plan, you are going to choose from the dinner recipes, okay? And if you're not going to follow any recipes whatsoever, then it's going to be a protein, a veggie, and a veggie. No carbs. 2.5 to 3 hours after that, you're going to have your snack. And what is your snack? It's going to be another shake, okay? So there's absolutely no dairy in this as well. So you're going to have a shake, and you're going to follow the recipe that's included. But again, on days 1 and 2, you're going to omit the pumpkin. Now, if you used peanut butter in the morning for your shake, you're going to omit peanut butter or nut butter in the recipe for your afternoon, okay? You don't want fats twice a day, okay? You only want it the one time in the shake. And then 2.5, you're going to have your slim and lean, and then 2.5 to 3 hours after that, you're going to have your dinner. You're going to choose from your dinner recipes, right? Because there's no carbs, so it's going to be a protein and a veggie and a veggie, all right? That's days 1 and 2, no carbs, right? Now you get to refuel, and this is the fun part, because when you refuel, that apple is going to taste like candy. You're going to love it. And man, the first time I ever did a carb cycle, I was like sucking on that apple core. So on day 3, what do? Breakfast. It's going to be that shake, right? But you can't have the pumpkin now because it's carb day, so you can follow the recipe just like is indicated in the plan. 2.5 to 3 hours after that, you're going to have the 1/4 cup of nuts, and then you can have the apple. So you're going to have a green apple. I suggest the green apple versus the grapefruit, but you can have that fruit on the carb cycling plan on day 3. You're also going to have your slim and lean. Okay? Then 2.5 to 3 hours after that, you're going to have your lunch. Now, lunch, you actually choose from the lunch menu because in the lunch menu, you have the carb. You either have the brown rice or the quinoa. So choose one of the recipes in the lunch menu, or you choose your own protein, and then a half a cup of brown rice or quinoa, whichever one, and then a veggie. Okay, so you can choose your own or use the recipe. 2.5 to 3 hours after that, you're gonna have what? You're gonna have another shake. Again, you can keep the pumpkin in and you can follow the recipe. And just remember, if you used fats at breakfast, so you put the nut butter or peanut butter in your shake at breakfast, you're gonna eliminate it at lunch. You're gonna have your slim and lean, and then 2.5 to 3 hours after that, you're gonna have dinner. You're gonna, again, choose from the lunch menu because the lunch menu is where the carbs are. You're gonna choose one of those recipes, or you can take a protein of your own. You're gonna do either a brown rice or a quinoa, half a cup, and then a veggie, right? So you can use a recipe or build your own. Okay, on Carb Cycling, you can choose as many foods. So if you're really hungry and you feel like you're gonna gnaw off your arm, well then fill up on some of those vegetables from the low glycemic food index. You're gonna repeat the cycle, so days 1 and days 2, no carb day, followed by a refuel day, and then you repeat that. So you continually repeat that cycle for the 14 days. And whatever you do on carb day, don't omit carbs. It's very, very important that you have carbs on your refuel day. It's part of the process, so don't go it on your own, right? It's not a keto diet. This is Carb Cycling. It's effective, and it's only 14 days. Make sure you have your carbs. All right? Also, in the plan, we put a little picture of the 14-day Carb Cycling so that you can kind of see what it looks like in a pictorial view, if this is helpful. And then also included, you're gonna have a shopping list. Use the shopping list. If you're following the recipes, then make sure you put some of those items from the recipes on your shopping list when you go to the store. Explains to you why a green apple, why grapefruit, talks about why we're limiting carbs, and the method behind the madness. And it's going to talk about why you're peeing so much, because regardless of which plan you're on, you are going to be peeing. And if you are on Carb Cycling, you actually almost go through a little bit of dehydration, so you will definitely be peeing. And you have to make sure with both plans you are drinking half your body weight in ounces of water. The low glycemic food list, list of proteins, a list of healthy fats, and then the products that we talk about, the essential pack, the shakes, and the power couple. And then here you go, folks, all the recipes. Again, so you have recipes for breakfast, you have recipes for lunch, and you have recipes for dinner. And the final thing that I want you to take a look at, it's the almost last page, this accountability. This is golden, you guys. We're requesting that every single person do this. This is your accountability tracker. So when you take a look at it, you are going to hold yourself accountable for the next 14 days. Did you follow the meal plan? Did you work out? Did you drink your water? What is that one? That one is clean eating. Basically, did you limit and stay away from the alcohol, the sugars, all the no things? Did you actually follow that? This one's a little positivity trackers, like, were you positive? Do some things that are mindful, because part of this process is mindset. So you have to make sure that you're feeding yourself every single day with positive, yes, I will succeed. Put that picture up of, I don't know, maybe the dress that you want to wear, or the pants that you want to get into, or maybe whatever your goal is, 5 pounds, 2 pounds, put that up. Always look at that, and then just the power of positivity. Did you take your supplements? And then the very last thing is effort. We want you to rate yourself, okay? Now remember, if you sort of do the plan, you're sort of going to get results. And if you want 10 results, then you got to put in 10 effort. So we're actually going to have you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. How did you do? So at the end, if you kind of sort of got results and we take a look at it, it's like, well, you kind of sort of followed the plan, you'll understand why. So it's really important that you hold yourself accountable for the next 14 days. And the last thing, this is a conversation that you will have with your coach. Okay, so it's like, print out the dates. What is the day that you're going to start the plan on? Once you look all this over, you have to make sure you have everything, you're ready to go, the products, the groceries, everything. Have a start date on it. What plan are you going to follow? Have that discussion with your coach. Is it going to be Carb Cycling, or is it going to be high protein? Think about what are your goals for this plan? What do you want to achieve out of these next 14 days? Is it to drop a couple pounds? Is it to get more energy? What is it? Put down what your goal is. And then, if your goal is to lose, 5 pounds, what's the time frame? Is it in that 14 days? Put it down. And this is where you and your coach will have to set some expectations. If your plan really is I need to lose 20 pounds, the realistic thing is it's not going to be 14 days. You're not going to lose 20 pounds in 14 days. So we want to make sure that you're setting the right expectations, because we don't want you to consider yourself a failure when you don't hit that 20-pound weight loss in 2 weeks, because that's unrealistic. And then what is your long-term goal? Your long-term goal probably is that 20 pounds. And so we want to set your expectations up right. So anyway, you guys, that is the 14-day fat burning plan. Again, you have 2 options. You have carb cycling and you have high protein. Make sure you get with your coach. Make sure you know which plan that you are able to start with that is the best plan for you. Make sure you printed it out. Make sure you read over the plan. Make sure you watch this video. And then if you have any questions or comments or concerns, make sure you mark it down, and then make sure you get with your coach or me or comment below so that we can get your questions answered. Have a great start. You set the start date, you set your expectations, and we are here to help you every step of the way. And the last thing I'm going to say is this group was created for you, so play along in the group. A lot of people say, oh, I don't do that, I don't do Facebook, I don't do the groups. But I'm going to tell you that's going to be key to your success too, because sometimes your struggles or your victories are going to help somebody else. We all have a journey, and all of our journeys help somebody else. So with that, have a great day.